everyone. Welcome back to Mental Health Wealth, where we believe you are your most important asset and your mental health is your greatest resource. I'm Dr. RJ and I'm glad to see you again. In our last two episodes, we unpacked shame, explored how it differs from guilt, and how it affects our mental health and our relationships. We also discussed effective strategies on how to deal with shame, including the 7-day Love Yourself Challenge. I will put a link in the description so you can check those out. Today we continue to dig deeper into this topic by talking about the practice of shaming. Have you ever heard the phrase, shame on you? This example of shaming is a powerful expression that most of us have probably used at some point. Consider this, when have you heard this phrase? And what was the impact that it had on you if you were on the receiving end? Or if you were the one who said it, what were you intending to accomplish? Well, what is shaming anyway? Shaming is a psychological and social process in which an individual is made to feel ashamed, embarrassed, or humiliated, typically due to their behavior, characteristics, or beliefs. Shaming often involves highlighting perceived flaws or failures, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and a diminished sense of self-worth. Shaming is often intended to correct perceived harmful behavior, and while it might, in the short term, have that effect, it has the potential to inflict profound emotional scars for a long time. Sometimes shaming is not simply a fleeting moment of discomfort because it involves casting someone into disgrace or humiliation. And worst of all, probably oftentimes it's done in a public forum. An insightful article from Psychology Today, which I'll also put a link in the description for you. This article describes shaming as an aggressive act that violates the human spirit. This insidious behavior can leave individuals grappling with feelings of inadequacy or flawed identity for a very long time. Shaming can manifest through verbal attacks, body language, and in our digital age, rampant social media commentary. Shaming can target various aspects of a person's identity, whether it's their race, their gender, their weight, their accent, their religious beliefs, or other personal attributes. The effects are especially tragic for children, often leading to mental health struggles like depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts as they grow up into adulthood. Let's explore 3 areas where shaming often occurs. First, we'll look at shame-based parenting. Now, as a parent myself, I know how challenging it is to raise teenagers. However, it's essential to refrain from using shame as a discipline tool. Phrases like, you will never be as good as your sibling, or dismissive comments like, you should not feel that way, may yield immediate results in getting children to comply with what we want them to do, but it also can create lasting resentment and damage a child's self-esteem. Next, consider authority figures. Teachers, managers, and even civic leaders can inadvertently or sometimes deliberately shame others. For example, a teacher who labels a student as lazy or compares them to higher achieving peers can instill a sense of inferiority in that child that lasts for a lifetime. Shaming by authority figures, including civic leaders and politicians, can have even more insidious effects, as this type of shaming often perpetuates broader societal issues such as racism, misogyny, and homophobia. Lastly, let's examine shame-based cultures. In these environments, an individual's social standing is heavily dictated by social perceptions. Actions aligning with social norms are celebrated, while deviations can result in public humiliation or loss of honor. The pressure to conform can lead to heightened anxiety and a pervasive fear of judgment. This relentless quest to avoid public disgrace often compels individuals to suppress their authentic selves. Consequently, shame-based cultures tend to have much higher rates of suicidal ideations and completed suicides. In these cultures, bullying is frequently manifested, allowing perpetrators to exert power over others while masking their own insecurities. It's very important for us to remember that the impact of shame varies based on the individual, their sense of resilience, experiences. Intense shame, however, can lead to isolation, perfectionism, and a lingering sense of unlovability. It's very clear then that shaming has no place in healthy relationships, in our classrooms, in our workplaces, or within our societies. Those in positions of power must practice self-compassion and extend that grace to others. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a boss or supervisor, whether you're a teacher, whatever capacity that you lead in. Let's work together to foster a culture of understanding and kindness. Each of us holds the power to uplift rather than shame. If you found this topic to be meaningful, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for more insightful discussion on mental wellness. We'd love to hear your thoughts on shaming in the comments below. At Mental Health Wealth, we're committed to creating a supportive community. So let's keep the conversation alive. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So prioritize developing, nurturing, and protecting your mental health. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be kind to yourself and to others.